You got black flies, Lloyd?
Yes, lots of black flies. Hungry
Worse
ones
at
too.
night than they are in the morning, I think.
So we're live on YouTube, and as soon as Mike comes back, I think we can start whenever he's here.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Everybody hear me? Okay, good evening. It's 5:30. We'll call this meeting to order. Additions to the agendas. Any additions to the agenda? Amy?
I don't have an addition to the agenda, but I was wondering if we could take out part 9.3.1. Would like council to reconsider the motion that was made about tendering shoulder of Cooper Road. I thought that it was discussed thoroughly last council meeting and the reasoning behind the motion.
So 9.2.
9.3.1, it says, would like council to reconsider the motion that was made about tendering shouldering of Cooper Road.
Okay, comments?
I'm
Any
fine
other
with that,
comments?
Lloyd. I'm fine with that. I've already written the tender and it's being put out.
Everybody else okay with that? Randy? Can Randy hear me?
I didn't hear you, and I didn't hear other name you said about taking it out. I didn't hear the comment after that.
What was that?
That was the internet lagging.
Randy, can you hear us?
Are we removing 9? I can hear you.
I think he,
Can you hear me?
Okay. Items removed from the agenda. Any additions to the agenda?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
yeah, I'd like to talk about, I suggested, August meeting for our budget review, and I got a lot of head shakes. Yes, they'd like to do that. So I'd like to add that on to Anne Marie's part at the end so that we can talk about a budget review in August.
Mike?
I was, my first thing on my report, I think does it need to be moved to closed? Anne Marie, maybe? I don't know.
We don't have a closed session tonight, Amanda, do we?
Yeah, we do. But I don't see anything on Mike's report that needs to
just-
move to closed session.
I just didn't know how, if you discuss that stuff in open or closed or,
Are you talking about?
sorry.
Amanda, go ahead.
9.3.3, if that's the one you're talking about, we can talk about cleaning up the culverts, but the rest of it's in closed session.
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't know. I don't see closed session stuff, right? So,
Yep, it is.
okay.
Okay, could I have the, was everybody okay with Larry's suggestion there about the budget? Okay, could I have approval of the agenda then with those amendments? Carrie? Larry, all in favor? Still not sure
Mr.
Randy's hearing me.
He's froze up.
Can you spray him with something, Amanda?
I've just sent him a text message. What's going on? He may have to do what he did last time and do it on his phone. He must not have very good internet connection.
Amanda,
Yes.
how many people could actually work out of the office if Randy had this problem last time?
He could come and sit in the hall. He'd just have to be close to the end of the hall to reach the internet. But it might be better than this.
Yeah,
Because last week, you're right, the last council meeting, he had the same problem.
yeah. Looks
So I
like at the end of May, we might get it up to 10 people anyway. Would that allow us to have our council meeting, Mr. Chair?
I believe so.
Oh, yay.
Am I there? Can you hear me?
There we go.
'Cause I'm using my phone with my hotspot, and everybody on my screen keeps freezing every time they talk, so I don't hear anything. But I've got full bars for data because I'm using my phone data to put to the tablet. So it's not the Wi-Fi. I'm right on straight data. So, but every time one of the other 5 talk, or 6 is the screen all just freezes on me.
Okay, so did you hear any discussion regarding the agenda?
Just that we're removing 9.3, and from that, I didn't hear Larry's comment in, and
Okay, close enough. So everybody, all in favor on the agenda? Thank you. Moving on. Okay. Declaration of pecuniary interest to the general nature thereof, seeing none. Adoption of the minutes of May 6, 2020 meeting, please. Amy and Randy. Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Statutory public meetings, none. Planning matters, none. Presentation delegations, none. Moving on to staff reports. Clerk planning. Amanda.
Okay, so over the last 2 weeks, I've been working almost all my time on trying to get the AOTA policies we need in place, accessibility policies. When I had to report this year, I noticed that we did not have any of these policies in place. So I had to make them all. Interesting, pretty straightforward though. If you've read them all, it's just good to have in place. I have to comply by Friday, actually. So if you've read them over, I'm just looking to see if I can get approval on the accessibility multi-year plan, the customer service policy and feedback form, and the annual
Sure.
accessibility report.
Amy.
Mr. Chair.
Amy, first,
Yes.
please.
Okay, Amanda, it was really well written, thank you. I just saw a typo on the
Sure.
customer service feedback form.
Okay.
It should say time of visit. It says time if visit. So,
Okay.
but thank you so much. It was great.
Thank you.
Randy.
Thanks, Amy.
Randy? Randy's froze up again.
Yes, Amanda, it's well done. Am I going now?
Yep.
Page 6 on that, yes, and just another typo. The next 5 is meet or exceed.
Sorry, I didn't catch that, Randy.
Page 6. Halfway
Of the
down.
Randy, you're freezing up.
Yes,
You're freezing up, Randy. We're not hearing anything you're saying.
yes. Can you hear me now?
He's sending me a text message about page 6.
Hello.
Amanda?
Oh, he's texting me page 6, the next 5 years, but I'm not sure what he's asking.
Yeah, well, we can't hear him. He's just breaking up and freezing up, so. How long will it take him to get to the office?
I'll ask him to come.
We don't want to be doing this all night.
No.
Yeah, Randy? Yeah, and what? Okay. Okay, well, we're not hearing you at all. You're just an echo. How long would it take you to grab your stuff and come to and sit in the hall?
If he called into my phone, I can put it on speakerphone and then
Okay.
he could.
Okay.
participate.
Okay. Yeah, just call Amanda and she'll put her speakerphone, her phone on speaker. Yep, bye. You got him, Amanda?
I'll just put you on speakerphone, okay? He's on speaker now.
Okay.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say, I'm gonna just turn my volume down. So, on the next 5 years, continue to build on previous actions designed to, and that's what we need, it says me.
Oh, okay.
And, I don't see anything in this, but, is that part of the accessibility, multiple chemical sensitivity?
I didn't include anything for chemical sensitivities. I can look into it, include it if you want me to. I have to submit this by Friday.
Well, we can send it for this and do an update if we need to.
Yeah, we can send something else to them. If it doesn't go by Friday, we'll possibly receive fines.
Okay, yep, no problem, just, we'll work on an update later.
Sure, yeah. Did anyone else have anything about the accessibility?
No. A lot of good work went into that, Amanda. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we just approve all of them at once then?
Okay, has everybody read them all over and they're happy with the rest of it? Can I have a motion to approve them all, please?
I will.
Carrie, Amy, all in favor? Motion carried. Thanks again, Amanda.
No problem. So Shannon has put in some pretty hard work into the possibility of having a summer camp here in our hall and outside. Obviously not this year, but for summer next year. She's put together some good information and has a bit of a survey that would help if residents would fill it out. If everyone thinks that this is a good idea, we can move forward. At this point, she would just be sending out the survey to see if anyone's even interested in it.
Comments? Barry?
Yeah, first of all, I think it's a great idea. But I do have pretty large concerns when it comes to where we want to hold these events. I just don't believe that having children around heavy equipment is a great idea. And we also, hopefully, if everything goes the way we want it to go, we'll be building a new fire hall next year. And there's going to be all kinds of construction activity around that building. I got some information today about the public school. Now, I believe that that is an absolute great place to have this summer camp. We could probably rent the public school. It's a very safe place. No heavy equipment. There's easy to keep track of your children. Just all the playground activity you'd ever want is there. And it's out in the country. It's not near like that. There's our place of business where the public are in and out and that kind of thing. I think it's a great idea, but I'm not really crazy about having that at the El Dorado Hall. My opinion.
Other comments? Amy?
Yeah, so no, I think it's a great idea. I too think that the Madoc Township Public School would be a better site to hold it. I know that they do welcome community partnerships and community use of schools. We have a great trustee Bonnie Daines, that would advocate for that. I would like to make a motion to direct staff to look into the use of Madoc Township Public School, even for next year.
So sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead,
So
Amanda.
in research, the municipality can't run it if it's at the school. The school would have to take it over and run it.
The school would, like, did you
We
talk
can,
to trustee Bonnie Daines about that? Because I know that they,
she's been talking to someone from Hastings County that's telling her how we can get certified and what requirements we need here. I believe that that's who told her that it would have to be run by the school if it's at the school. We can look into it more though and see, especially if we can talk to Bonnie Dean, she'd be able to tell us for sure.
just because I do know, like, sure, she might have talked to Hastings County, but the Hastings and Prince Edward District School Board is a separate entity on its own. So I don't know who she's been
Yeah, that's
talking
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's on their website under community
Yeah.
schools.
Yeah.
Carrie, comments?
Can you hear that?
There's a really bad echo. I don't know if everybody heard that. No, I mean, I tend to agree with Amy. I think that's a good idea, but we should look more into it and see what's going on. Because I know when we went through all this stuff, they wanted us to use the schools for hubs and stuff. So
Yeah.
let's try to do that, right? And it'll help protect our school as well if we can.
I
Randy,
think,
Yes, I know through churches hold summer camps throughout the summer. There's 2 or 3 of them that hold it. Plus the just private groups hold what they call a Awana. It's just a children's group it's held at a church, and it's privately run. So I don't know how they want from school.
okay. No, I also support it 100%. I think it's a great idea. It's something we need I believe. So I had a motion on the table to move forward and do some more investigating. Do I have a seconder in that motion? Larry, all in favor? Motion's carried. Thank you.
So should we hold off on that survey till we find some more information? Okay.
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing that Shannon put a lot of work into is the possibility of doing a trash bash fire department fundraiser. So a complaint that we get a lot is that there's garbage on the sides of our roads. And some people are kind enough to pick it up and help us clean up the township. But if we had one day, hopefully around Earth Day, we could make an event of it and have like some hot dogs and hamburgers here. The kids could see the fire trucks and the firemen, and everyone could clean up garbage and they can bring it back to the municipality. We would, or they could leave it at the end of the road, whatever we work out. We would supply the bags and the gloves, and just, we don't, especially this year, haven't got to do fundraising for the fire department with all of this COVID-19 stuff going on. So this would be maybe an extra thing to try and do next year. And if everyone thinks that that's a good idea, we can start to plan it and put things in place for next year.
Larry,
Yeah, I think I might have mentioned that to you, Amanda, a couple of weeks ago. I do
Yeah,
think it's a great idea. We talked about a couple of things that we put on, we passed on to the bylaw officer. And when Amanda and I were speaking, I mentioned something like this. And I just believe that it's a great way to promote our township, our stewardship, picking up, recycle, and all that kind of good stuff. And I do think that Shannon's come up with a great idea here where we can work it in with the fire department. So I'm all in favor, and if I can do anything to help Shannon with this through Quinte Waste from the board, maybe Shannon, Amanda, you and I we can talk, and maybe there's something Quinte Waste will help us out with here, because they promote this stuff, like they're big promoters of, and they have their own communication department. So let's talk, and we got lots of time, and we can make a great day out of this, I do believe.
Yeah, I think so too.
did I hear a
So,
motion
just-
somewhere? Carrie. Carrie's making that a motion. Second, Amy, all in favor? Carrie. Thank you, once again, good work.
So the next thing on my report is we have an unfinished business section in our agenda, which isn't really clear on how we use it, especially when we're not supposed to talk about things that aren't already on the agenda. It just doesn't work out in my mind anyway. So I was thinking about creating a to-do list that will list the motions that you have directed staff and give you a status update on them if they're complete, or if we're having trouble with them for whatever reason, or we need more direction from you guys. So I thought that I could include that instead of an unfinished business section. If you guys like that, I can change the procurement policy, or sorry, procurement policy, the policy that says how the agenda is laid out, just to include that as a section. I kind of thought it was a good idea.
Comments?
Yeah,
I see a lot of heads nodding here. Good idea. I think it's an excellent idea.
yeah, I think it's a
Do I hear a
great
motion?
idea and it's a. We need a motion for that, Amanda?
Yep.
Yeah, just change the policy.
Okay. If that's what you're looking for, yeah, I'll make a motion that we make up the bylaw to add this to our agenda. I'd like to speak to it when we're done.
Randy, comment?
Just seconding on the motion.
Okay. All in favor? Carried.
Okay, so the next thing on my agenda is if we should be posting for the spraying that we do on the guardrails. Historically, the guardrails are always sprayed for weed control. It's more of a visibility thing, I believe. We have not posted in previous years, but it might be a good idea to let people know what we're doing now.
Amy,
I think it's a great idea. I think we should be posting for spraying of the guardrails. So that's a motion.
second. Larry, all in favor? Carried.
Next, we do have a resident turning 100 years old this year. And traditionally, we have done a certificate that gets signed by the mayor, and we seal it and stamp it and present it to them. We'll have to mail it to them right now, though. Was just asked if there should be anything else done for them, flowers or something like that, or if we should just stick with the certificate.
Comments?
Who's it? Who is it?
Ruth Holmes.
Oh, Ruth?
Yeah. Carrie,
Why not? I don't see why not. Like, we get a little something, right, to go along with it. I think especially this year. Like, this is a big deal, and she's not gonna be able to celebrate. So I think especially given the time that we're in right now, why not? And even if we're setting a precedent, heck,
Yeah,
why not?
I agree, 100%.
yeah, I
Not
was,
very many
I brought, I'm sorry, I brought that up because her son actually come and seen me to remind me. I asked him, told him last year to make sure he reminded me, and he did, so. Yeah, and I would like to even personally deliver that message.
Okay, so we'll do the certificate up and get some flowers. Okay.
You
Mr.
had the
Chair?
date, right? Yes, sir.
You know when the date is you'll be taking it there?
We'll find her birthday. When did I tell you her birthday was on?
I can't remember. It's written down somewhere.
Well, if you'd give me a call, Lloyd, I'd be happy to attend with you.
Yeah, I thought you would, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that's
Okay.
who it was, but I just wanted to make sure.
Can I say
Okay.
something too?
Sure.
To like in a normal year, like 100 years old for a township resident is a big deal. Like, can we give the hall like a free rental for a party?
Yeah, maybe next year.
Just,
we
yeah, I
could.
think it's next month, actually. I think it's about the 12th of June. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Parties
they
will be out.
understand. I'm sorry, they understand where the party's kind of out of the question this year, but I really do think we should do something.
Okay.
So I had a motion on the table there. Second? Larry, all in favor? Carried. Are we still getting that echo?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
we're good? Okay.
Good.
Okay,
Your
Amanda,
voice
thank
is
you.
as sweet as ever, Lloyd.
Huh,
Have
So
a laugh, man.
next thing on my report, last but not least, is some completed request complaint forms. Has anyone had any comments on them?
Nope.
Comments?
I do.
Amy?
Well, at first I wasn't going to say anything about the first complaint form because, to be honest, it was quite rude, and I don't think we need to dignify rude complaint forms with a response. But I would just like to say that the Madoc Township Roads Department does a great job. And yeah, I would just say that because the first complaint form was rude and I wouldn't even bother responding to it.
Larry?
I'm not gonna say anything because if I did, I'd be as rude as the person that wrote the letter. And I hope he's listening.
So can I just get a motion to accept the complaint forms? Please.
Carrie? Amy? All in favor? Carried.
And then just to accept my report, please.
Randy,
Randy, second. Larry, all in favor? Thanks, Amanda.
Excuse me.
Okay, we'll move on to treasurer Anne Marie.
Okay, the fire committee met on May 11th and minutes from the meeting are the agenda section. So I have some recommended resolutions I'd like council to approve. That council approve the fire committee's recommendation to have emergency management and training incorporated complete the fire review. That council approves the fire committee's recommendation to send funding request letters to our member of provincial parliament and our member of federal parliament. And that council approves the fire committee's recommendation to formally invite members from Tudor Cutshell Township to a fire committee meeting to discuss Madoc Township's plan to build a new fire hall. Any thoughts?
Thoughts, comments? Motion. Amy? Carrie? All in favor?
A request was made to discuss supply of employee benefits. Benefits were previously with JLT Insurance with benefits supplied by Sun Life. In 2018, a change was made to join Hastings County as a group with Mosey Insurance with benefits supplied by Manulife. The group consists of Hastings County, Madoc Township, Farmer and Lake, Town of Bancroft, Hastings Highlands, Municipality of Faraday, Town of Deserano, Municipality Center Hastings, Wollaston Township, Central Hastings Family House Team, Municipality of Tweed, and Carlo Mayo Township. Discussion, thoughts?
Larry,
Yeah, I was a gentleman that asked to have that put on the agenda. This has been, we've talked about this. I guess I'll say I've talked about this for well over a year. We've gone through 2 budgets. There are, first of all, I want to make it very clear to everyone, I am not in favor of getting rid of anybody's benefits of any kind. However, there are places that you can go besides these people and get a better rate than we are getting. So I did a little, I made a few phone calls of my own. I've talked to 2 different municipalities over the last 2 or 3 months. One person that I talked to, I know quite well. Anyway, there are, but for example, Sterling Rodden don't belong to this. They go through AMO. AMO then in turn put them through the same company we're with, Moisey and Moisey. They get theirs through the same people we get ours through, only they go through AMO. And theirs is cheaper than ours. I know that there's another township in the south end of the county that is looking at this right now. McDougal's look after Belleville, the city of Belleville. Theirs is cheaper than ours. So I'm only doing what I believe is my due diligence on behalf of my taxpayers. And I want to make a motion that our staff look into this and get back to us on some prices and some different ideas of how we're going to move our benefits forward. Because it's my understanding that the county, they have a 5-year contract and it's up this year. So they're going to be looking at something also. So actually, it's just the benefits stay the way they are. We may be with a different carrier. And that's not a different thing at all, folks. I've been with Ontario Hydro for years and years, and I'm on my 4th carrier. I personally saved $1,000 3 years ago a year by going to different insurance companies and getting prices on the very same. I compare apples to apples. So this has been going on now for a year and a half, and I'm bringing my motion tonight, and I hope that I can get a seconder, and I hope for action. Thank you.
comments? Any more discussion? I have a seconder on the motion. Amy? All in favor? That's all in favor? That was a long pause. Motion carried.
Okay. The budget, the final levy amount for Hastings County received after the budget was passed on May 6th, 2020. The budget amount was $595,765,000. Actual was $627,145. So it's an unexpected increase of $31,380. So to have no impact on the tax rate that we already set and no effect on the bylaw, I've given options there. So I guess I'm looking for a resolution of which option council would like, or a combination of the three.
Comments? Carrie, comment?
Why do you want to pick on people like that?
Payback. Any comment on that?
I would like, what would staff, like, what does staff recommend? Like, they just said recommend that we accept one of them, but is there one that staff would say is a better recommendation? This recommendation is telling us to pick up, we could pick any of them.
I am suggesting option 3. Leaning more towards the supplemental revenue now that building permits are open again. And I believe we'll have enough supplemental revenue to cover it. But just in case, if there's not enough supplemental revenue, then use of working fund reserves would help. This wouldn't be looked at again until we look at the budget again in August, which will help us determine a better answer.
Amy?
Well, I guess I do have a few questions too. So we didn't know that the budget was going to be increasing by that much? Because I know back in March, Hastings County approved their budget, and the county level, the levy was 5.18%. Did something change that it went up more than that?
Yeah, and back when that information was received, that was just an interim amount that I was given. I was not, did not give them the final amount until after we passed ours. And I don't have an explanation. I'm gonna assume probably a lot of this is related to this pandemic, the extra costs that Hastings County has to put out with paramedics and everything related to the pandemic.
Go ahead, Larry.
Mr. Chair. Okay, I don't have, option 3 is fine by me. I have a problem. And my problem is this. That could be $200,000. And if it was, we would have a problem. So all I'd say is, I don't know how this happened, but this is not the end of it. I want to know how this happened. I'm not holding anybody responsible for it happening, but it cannot happen again. The taxpayers, this could be a nightmare. We're just lucky it's 30 grand and we can hide. That's not happen again. So in a review in August, let's come up with a plan where this can't happen again. Okay? And I have no more to say.
Randy? Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask for a motion on option 3. Randy, Larry, all in favor? Carried, thank you.
And I believe, addition to the agenda of just August budget review.
Are you looking for a motion to have that in August?
Yep, I'm gonna make a motion that we have a special day in August. Probably gonna take us a couple hours, and that we review the budget line by line to understand where our money is and where we are with projects moving forward. That gives us ample time to understand where we are. It would help out, I believe, as a supervisor. If I was still a supervisor, it certainly would help me understand my projects, where I was, how am I going to complete them? How do I complete them? I still got 5 months of the year that I can complete them in. So I'm making a motion that we set a special meeting in August for budget review.
Second? Amy, all in favor?
So when we get
Very-
closer to the time, then we'll set a date at one of
Sure.
our next meetings.
That's fine.
Closer to the time. And I just need accept my reports.
Randy, Larry, all in favor? Carried. I gotta say, I like it. Carrie says all in favor with a smile. That's it.
All in favor.
Working road supervisor, Mike, with a smile.
All right, I'd like just to say thanks for Councillor Beaton and Councillor Rollins or Deputy Mayor Rollins for standing up for us, the roads department. We are small and we try hard. I guess for my road report, the first thing on my report, I believe was moved to close. Other than that, we've been cleaning culverts out. We've built actually some fairly cheap grates for our bigger culverts, so we don't have to be climbing in them. It's easier to clean the ends of them than it is to clean the inside of the culvert. Just some hard top coal patching. I do have, there were some concerns about an entrance on Cooper Road. I talked to the landowner. When I originally marked it, he marked it where he wanted it and I approved it. But after having it being surveyed or severed, and me looking at it, the driveway he marked is actually on the part that he severed. It's not actually on, it's on the part, I guess, that he left. So he severed off an acre or whatever, if it be an acre or two for to build on. And the entrance that he wanted me to approve is on the wrong side. Anyways, I did go back where he does have an entrance. I measured the visibility. As long as, I mean, he's meeting all of our standards for that we have in place for an entrance. I just suggesting that, I mean, that we make him buy another entrance permit, right? And the entrance that's there would be the entrance for the acreage that's left. I know it's quite a bit of acreage left, so I guess just your opinions on it, right? I know there was some questions on it, but the visibility is there, right? We only have to give 100 meters of visibility in each direction. And I had one of our guys go out with us, and there was well over 200, meters of visibility in each direction. He does have a culvert. It may have to be lengthened a little bit, which I was waiting to get back to him to decide what we were doing with this, right? The driveway is going to be at grade or lower, right? Which, so the water would run off the road. I don't know what your thoughts on that would be.
I just have a couple questions, Mike.
Yep.
Have you talked to the building department?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, if a building permit is taken out, no inspections can be passed without a legal entrance to the lot in which people are building on.
Right.
And I presume from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, this is not an entrance for the lot that he is building on.
Yes, it is an entrance.
Yeah, but for the lot he's building on?
Yep, it's right in front of the building that he's building. He can't get an inspection on his on his footings until I clear this up,
Okay, misunderstood then.
right?
So this is a legal entrance for the building lot.
Yes, right? The one that
Okay,
the 911 that I did before, like I say, he marked it for me. I went out, I looked at it, I measured it, but he didn't have the survey stakes, right? And now when I'm looking at it, right, the survey stake is for the severed part is like probably 4 or 5 feet the wrong way, right? So the driveway that I approved is now on the existing, what is the retaining property, right?
I'm still confused. Larry, Larry?
Hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, so if he doesn't move the entrance, he does want to put another place, I gather, next to the one where, you put the 911 sign. So we're gonna have 2 entrances about 70 feet apart. If this had been done right, as we talked about with, we just did a severance less than a month ago, where part of the severance being, part of the work that we did was that we have a shared entrance for 2 lots. I don't see where this gentleman is doing anything he was told to do. You're out by 3 or 4 feet. That wasn't your problem. He told you where he wanted it, right?
Yep.
Well, then put it where it was supposed to be put in the first place. We'll share 2 entrances, 2 lots, we'll share 1 entrance. I'm in favor of this man having 8, 10 entrances if he builds 16 homes. But I'm not in favor of 16 entrances for 16 homes, not on that road. And the chair gave me a good idea here some time ago. Maybe it was at the last one. This road, Malone Road, and any other road, that we should be looking at a bylaw where we upgrade these roads so that they're more in favor of things like this. This isn't a side road that there's no traffic on. And I don't want to go down that road someday or have anybody else go down that road someday and see a bad accident because of all these entrances. You don't put entrances on major highways that cause problems. You narrow them down to as few as you can. I'm not in favor of that entrance staying where it is. I want that entrance moved to where it's supposed to be. And that culvert is going to have to be all dug out in a way because the stones are already running in the end of it. I got a picture of them. There's 4 inches of stone already plugging the culvert. So the culvert's got to be dug up anyway. And the culvert's not the right size. So if you're going to do that, put the entrance in the right way. And let's do things the right way. Let's not just cobble stuff up.
what I had suggested earlier is on our main roads, Cooper Road, Queensboro Road, Delora Road, is so we don't go through this every time, is to adopt really the MTO standards for major roads, major traffic. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but that's an entrance not less than 500 meters or 500 feet apart.
I believe that's what that is.
Anything closer than that, they put in shared driveways.
Mhm.
I believe that's that's something we should adopt. We definitely want to encourage building. And we're demonstrating this summer that we're definitely open for business because we're leading the way, I believe, in development for 5 municipalities this year. But I believe we do need to adopt that MTO standard on our major roads. Comments? Anne Marie,
So is that a motion that we want to put out there to bring a bylaw into effect for MTO standards for certain roads for shared entrance?
I was hoping. Carrie, you make that a motion, my dear? Second? Larry? All in favor? Carried. Now, that don't resolve the issue that we got right now with this one.
Nope.
What are you suggesting, Mike? You're suggesting it stays?
Fucking driveway.
Well, I mean, it can, I don't know, personally, if it was my lot, I would want it where I originally approved it. You know, it's, to me, it's not practical where it is. I mean, it meets all of our standards, but I wouldn't put it there. I guess in the end of the day, I was just looking for your guys' opinions and decision, or kind of a decision on, you know, if you wanted me to move it back. It right now, it meets all of our criteria, right? So it's hard for me to kind of, I don't know, in my opinion, it makes it hard for me to say no, right?
Larry?
It's not hard for me to say no. And I'm saying no. Put the driveway where it was supposed to be put. We have spent more time and money in this driveway than I would certainly hope that we don't have to do this with decisions we make throughout. This is not a business decision. This should have been simple. It should have been done. And I'm sorry if people don't like what you tell them, but tell them. And if they don't like it, why didn't somebody come to this council? Why didn't we get information? Why did it, like, if everybody knew that if this gentleman or whoever this is wanted to do this, why didn't they come and say, okay, well, you know, we're not putting the driveway down where you told us to. We're going to put it in the middle of a lot. Nobody did that. They just went ahead and bullied their way in and did it. I don't like bullies, and I don't like people that don't do what they're supposed to do. I do.
What's your motion,
And
Larry?
they should.
What's your motion, Larry?
My motion is that be put where it's supposed to be put so that it's a shared driveway for 2 lots.
I'll second it.
Amy?
Yeah, I'll second it. And I do have a comment too. Like, because I was thinking, you know, what's at risk by keeping the driveway where it is right now? Okay. So that was my question to myself. But what's at risk is that policy, like procedure, wasn't followed by the landowner. The working road supervisor did what he was supposed to do, right? Mark the driveway, get the 911 number for the landowner, and then the driveway was put somewhere else. So I think, you know, that's a good question to ask, what's at risk? And I totally agree with Larry. The driveway needs to go where it was first marked. Thank you.
Motion on the table. All in favor? Carried.
Okay, and the other thing was just another entrance on,
Gordon, he had something he wanted to say there.
oh, sorry.
Nope, that's okay.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'm okay with doing shared driveways, if somebody does two severance at the same time, but we can't dictate to somebody that does one severance and somebody else wants to do a second severance later on that they get to use the first driveway when it's on private land. Then they have to go and do right of way to allow them to cross their land to the other land. I can understand it if he was doing two severs at the same time. But in all cases, this driveway, the culvert isn't wide enough and it's not to proper grade, and it should be addressed before we move on forward with that too.
So you're not in favor of that motion?
No, sir, not, I wouldn't want somebody to tell me I have to use somebody else's driveway and have to spend money to get a right of way over their land to my land. If they're doing two severance into one, yes.
Okay, because I'm gonna ask for another vote on that. I have a first, a second. And I'm gonna ask for an all in favor again.
No.
Gary?
I don't disagree with what Randy is saying. It is true. So we're forcing people to get a right of way? Is that what we're saying?
If I think on this one, we need to be, I think on this one, we need to be careful. Once we establish that MTO standard, then that dictates that there's no driveways within 500 feet of each other. Okay, we still sever lots, but they have to share something. Okay. So,
Mr. Chair,
Barry,
Mr. Chair, these people, the people that own this property severed off a piece of property. They own both sides of the road, right?
right,
So what's the problem? They did own both sides of the road. And it isn't like you're talking to, I understand what Randy's saying, but that's not the way this is. This is one piece of person's property and those people. So if you do what you're saying, this will continue all the way down that road. So you will sever a lot, you'll sell it. Then you'll say you have two owners. You will sever a lot, you will sell it. So you're gonna have 16 driveways. Because these people plan on building a lot of homes here, and I'm in favor of them building a lot of homes. I just don't want some mess where you have all these driveways on a major highway. There is one person that severed that lot. That should have been part of the arrangement when it was done. He owned both sides of that lot line. Sure, he sold one, but he owned both sides and he was the one that wanted the entrance for the severance. So you only had one person. So I argue with Randy. In this situation, there is only one person.
Gary,
Are we talking about this situation or generality right now? Because
No, I'm talking about
confused.
this
Are we talking
situation.
about
There was
this
one person
situation? Or are
on
we
this
talking
property.
about?
And they severed
I
the
understand
property.
that, but I thought.
Okay.
I understand that, but I thought we were talking about the general situation and moving forward, not about this particular entrance. Which thing are we talking about?
I don't know.
I think, let me clarify that. Well, I'm gonna clarify that. The original, the entrance that's put in is gonna be put in the right spot. Where Mike said and knows their driveway should go is where that entrance is gonna be moved to and put in the right spot. We're gonna set a precedence for the landowner and the contractor here that we say where the driveways go.
Yep.
And then we're gonna move forward and we're gonna write up a bylaw and we're gonna adopt the MTO standards on our main highways, and that will solve all of our problems.
That's right. I
everybody good
agree.
with that?
You're right, Mr. Chair. That's exactly what I thought we were doing.
Randy,
Yeah, what happens now when we do another lot severance and then we only have to allow 200 feet of frontage?
repeat that.
If we have a minimum frontage of 200 feet, then they can establish another lot within, another driveway within that 200 feet. Not 500.
You put your driveway to the furthest point to the south to share with the next one.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But then they would have to get I can't forget, I lost the track of the word now. Access, you have to get access through legal to get across the property.
We'll go, I'm gonna direct Mike to go to the MTO and get their standards, and we will review their standards as to what happens there. Okay? But right now, for tonight, the entrance that, we've made our motion on the entrance that's there, it's gonna be fixed. We got a motion that we're gonna adopt the MTO standards. And Mike, with maybe some assistance, will find out the details of those standards, MDO standards. We okay with that?
Are you asking me, sir?
Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
Carrie? We are, okay. Moving on, Mike.
All right, and the last one, it was just, it's more of an information thing for you guys. I mean, you guys, so on Cedar School Road, council had passed with previous road super that an entrance be allowed off of a road allowance. The building department says it can't happen. So with this gentleman's severance, we've just moved it to the other side of the 911 number. So he will be accessing his property directly from the road instead of using our road allowance. It was more of an information thing for you. Just because, I mean, it was passed, right, that he used the road allowance so that if anybody questioned that they know it, right?
All right.
Yeah, I took a look at that this afternoon and he's got his driveway in. I don't see a problem with it where it is.
Okay.
It's in the middle of nowhere. But
And that's everything.
Go ahead, Mike.
That's everything I have for,
I have a motion to receive Mike's report, please.
Randy,
Carrie? Randy? All in favor? Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I hate this thing. You made him, so Mike's done and I have to ask a question. And because of this
Yeah.
crap, I didn't get to do that. Can I ask my question?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So Mike, it would be great. I understand that you have a work plan. And it would be great for me, I don't know about the rest of council, but if you could put together something that you could send us on an email, Mike, that gives us an idea of what your work plan is and what your dates are. It would help me. I don't know if the rest of the council want it or not, but if I could have that, then I better understand when somebody comes to my door and asks me a question, I can say, our work plan says this. If that's possible, I'd appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm working on it. I think there's a couple questions in closed session that we're gonna talk, and then I can pretty much give you my work plan for the summer.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Bylaw officer report. Council will accept the bylaw officer report as presented. Larry, Carrie, all in favor? Carried. Fire committee report. Everybody had a
I
look
vote
at the
to
fire
accept.
committee. Larry made a motion to accept. Second? Amy? All in favor? Amanda?
We skipped the committee of the whole meeting minutes for the budget meeting last week. Council.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We're gonna back up to 10.1, committee as a whole.
I'll make a motion that we accept it.
Thanks, Amy. Gary? All in favor? Okay. Fire committee. For May 11th. Randy? Gary? All in favor? Carried. Reports of statutory committees, boards, and external agencies. Recommend a resolution to receive the following reports as information. Winning Conservation, CHPHC, BISB, and all the remaining. Tri-Area Medical Center. Motion to receive all those. Any questions on any of them?
I do.
On motion, Carrie? Yes. Amy?
The Tri-Medical Center Advisory Committee. On number 2, it says about the terms of reference. And that Tiffany Schwinnard will update them and will send to each community to have approved by their councils. I wonder if we received that yet. And also under the service delivery review, that a copy of the application was provided and the engagement letter from KPMG. I was hoping that our council could receive and review that as well for information.
I don't see no issues with that.
Okay. Thank you.
You catch that, Amanda?
Yep. Yeah, when Tiffany sends them on, we'll forward to you guys.
Thank you.
Okay. I believe Carrie made a motion to accept all those. Second. Amy, all in favor? Carried. Correspondence. Resolution to receive and following correspondence as information.
Randy,
Larry. Second. Carrie, all in favor? Carried. Unfinished business. Anybody have anything more to add?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Amanda, is this where you do your to-do list? Under
Yeah, this
unfinished
is where I'll. Yeah,
Okay.
that way
Okay,
we have something to talk about in this section.
good job.
Bylaws.
So we just have one bylaw tonight. It's a bylaw to appoint a provincial offenses officer, bylaw enforcement officer for the township of Madoc.
First and a second and a third time.
Yay, yay, yay.
Carried.
Do you want to do the confirmatory bylaw now before we go into closed session?
Please do.
Okay. So this is bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Township of Madoc meeting held on May 20th, 2020.
The first, second, and third reading. Thank you. Carried.
And then I guess we can adjourn and go into closed.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah,
Regular meeting, Larry and Carrie, all in favor. Now I have a motion to go into close, please.
Oh, just wait till I get us off the YouTube here.
uh-oh.